Hey yogis and yogis, welcome back to Yogana. My name is Anna, this is Eric, and today we'll be doing a flow for heart openers. So this is going to be a really awesome flow if you hold a lot of tension in your chest or your heart area, or if you've just recently gone through a really heavy time in your life. So go ahead and hop onto your mats. If you have a big bolster and maybe a couple of blocks or just a couple pillows, go ahead and grab onto those. If not, no worries, we'll just get started. So we'll begin today's practice with those props if you have them. Again, no worries if you don't, but if you do and you have two blocks, go ahead and make the blocks into a T shape. So one block is going to be at the top of the head, horizontal and flat, and then the other one is going to be vertical for your spine. And if you don't, or if you have a couple pillows, just go ahead and the basic idea is the pillow is going to be supporting you like a slide. So go ahead and once you get all that set up, or not, if you just want to make your way down into your backs, that's also an option. But we'll go ahead and bring the bottoms of the feet together, find reclined cobbler's pose. The knees are going to be out wide. And then we're just going to go ahead and make our way back onto any kind of props that we set up for ourselves. The head is going to be above the heart just a little bit. But just go ahead and focus on the opening of the hips. Again, if you don't have any props at all, no worries. So we'll just start to settle in. The hands can kind of fall wherever they naturally want to land. I always kind of like to take the arms overhead for this posture, maybe even grab opposite elbows. It just really opens up the shoulders and the chest and the heart. But whatever feels comfortable for you, just already tuning into your body's needs, letting the knees feel nice and heavy. And then just starting to breathe as we tune in, focus inward. Take your mind off of any distractions that went on during the day or that will go on this week, and just into your body. So as we inhale through the nose, just feel that breath circulate all the way down to the base of the rib cage, the base of the belly. And then exhale out the nose, feel that sensation of breath just above the upper lip and below the nose. Continuing that cycle, inhaling and exhaling. Inhale and exhale. One more time, just inhale and lengthen the exhale this time. Good. And then we'll just bring that breath back to the natural cycle, natural rhythm of breath. Maybe take the arms down beside us if they're overhead. And then start to close the knees together like a book. So if you're on any of the props, we'll just gently start to lift ourselves up and then move the props out of the way. So we're back onto the mat. We won't use them again probably for the rest of the practice. So go ahead and make your way back with the knees about hips distance wide, the arms back down beside you, and then we'll just let the knees fall side to side, just windshield wiper the knees back and forth. Just to reset the low back from that opening of the hips. Good. Next time the knees come back through center, we'll find bridge pose. So go ahead and scoot the heels in close towards the body. The arms are going to come down beside us. And then as we press into the bottoms of the feet and the bottoms of the hands, we're going to start to lift the hips high. So those knees are going to stay in track with the hips. So almost like you're holding a block in between the knees, nice and strong in the quads. And then lift those hips really high. If you want a little bit deeper of a lift, of an inversion, go ahead and tuck the shoulders underneath, interlace the hands underneath the low back, and then that just gives that natural lift of the hips, just a little bit higher. Keep the feet nice and flat on the ground, the knees again in track with the hips. And then untuck the shoulders if you tuck them, release the hands and slowly lower down the hips. Good. From here, we're just going to rock and roll up into a tabletop position. So go ahead and grab the tops of the feet, cross the ankles, and then just massage out the spine as you rock and roll. Good. Maybe one more time, and then coming through those knees, pressing back into all fours, coming into a tabletop. Good. So from here, the knees are going to be hips distance wide. The wrists are going to be underneath the shoulders. Fingers are going to be spread wide. We'll find some cat-cows. So inhale as we gently open up in the heart. Shoulders are going to roll down the spine. Hips are going to lift. Exhale as we arch, find cat. Chin comes in to the chest. Shoulders roll in. Inhale as we open, find cow. Exhale as you find cat. Keep moving at your own pace. Really especially focusing on that cow posture, really deeply opening up the heart and lifting the hips. Good. From here, the next time we open up in cow, we'll find our way into that neutral tabletop posture and start to walk the hands forward into puppy dog pose. So the hips are going to stay lifted over the knees. The arms are going to reach forward. Head and heart are going to melt down. So that heart is really pressing back towards the knees, towards the ground. The shoulders are going to deeply open, and we're just going to breathe here. Good. Inhale. We'll start to lift yourself up, make your way all the way down onto the belly, find Sphinx pose here. So go ahead and extend the legs all the way behind us. Toes are going to untuck, and then those forearms are going to prop ourselves up like a tripod. So the elbows are going to be a little bit wider than the torso. The forearms are aiming forward, and then those palms, those fingers are spread nice and wide. So from here, we're just going to focus on the glutes, see if there's any tension there, and just see if you can let go a little bit and just release any tension. And then without actually moving anything or without moving much, we're just going to drop the shoulders down the spine. So you're nice and open in the heart, and then the fronts of the hips are going to aim forward, kind of like they have lasers on them. They're aiming towards the front of the mat, pointing really far forward. So really just focusing on those two areas of the body, and you have a perfect pose, getting those full benefits, just dropping the shoulders, aiming the hips forward. Breathing here. It's not a super easy posture, especially if we are used to closing in the shoulders all day or whenever we get stressed or sad. This is a super tender area. Really compressing the low back, and then we'll reopen it in a few breaths just to bring fresh blood to that area. Good. Stay here these final few breaths or press into seal pose. So this just gets you a little bit deeper. So pressing those fingers towards the corners of the mat, pressing into the palms, extending the elbows, and then lifting the belly up off of the ground, keeping the shoulders down the spine, and then resettling into the glutes, relaxing any tension there. Good, we'll slowly lower back down to the elbows, to the forearms, and then press yourself back into child's pose. The knees are going to be together though this time because we're going to find a different variation. So the toes are going to come together, knees are going to be almost together, maybe a little bit of a separation, and then the hips are going to sink over the heels as we extend the arms forward for a moment. Settle the head down towards the mat. Breathe into that low back space again, just reopening and bringing fresh blood there. And then from here, we're going to move into rabbit pose. So we're going to take the arms down beside us, keep the legs exactly where they are. And then the shoulders are going to roll in, and we're slowly going to grab onto the heels of the feet as we lift the hips. And then no pressure in the head. We're just going to kind of hover the top of the head over the mat. So maybe just lightly pressing on the mat, but you just really want to protect the neck here. So just either hover or lightly press the top of the head on the mat. So those hips are going to lift only as far as they're going to allow you to. So no forcing here. But just really rolling the shoulders in. And then just really breathing deep into that low back space. Good. We'll slowly lower back down the heel or the hips to the heels. Release the hands and bring them back in front of you. And then on the next inhale, we'll make our way into our first down dog. So go ahead and lift the hips up, tuck the toes, separate them about hips distance wide, and then lift the hips as we pedal out the dog here. So drop one heel, bend the opposite knee, just warming up the hamstrings. Mine are extra tight in this practice right now. So just very slowly and gently opening that area up. And even though it looks like we're kind of folding in a down dog, which we are, this is still a deep heart opener. So really focusing on pressing those hips high will press that heart back and still open that area. Feeling that opening in the shoulders and then evenly pressing out the heels eventually. Keeping those hips high. Feeling grounded in the thumb and the pinky especially. Feel nice and supported there. And then we'll slowly tippy-toe ourselves up to meet our hands. Finding a forward fold. We'll hang out here for a moment. So go ahead and grab opposite elbows if that helps you release in the head. And really just shake out the head, yes and no. No tension in the neck and the shoulders, and then again slowly opening up naturally the backs of the knees, the hamstrings. Good, and then dropping, releasing the elbows if you grabbed on. Inhales, we slowly ragdoll yourself up. Find our way into a standing pose, nice and slow. Head's going to be the last thing to rise. And then roll the shoulders back, palms face forward. We'll move right into a balancing posture. So coming into dancer pose, we're going to fix our gaze on something that's not moving in front of us. We'll start to ground through the left foot and then hold our right hand out beside us like we're holding a platter. Left hand is going to be placed on our left hip. And then as we ground through that left foot, we'll take the weight off of the right foot, start to bend in the knee, bring that heel in close to the glute, and then reach back and grab onto that right foot. So if you have a wall nearby, just to help you find that balance, you're welcome to grab onto that wall and stay right here. Or if you want to challenge your balance a little bit more, get deeper into the heart, deeper into the quad, we'll reach forward with the left hand. Again, welcome to grab onto a wall here. As we lean forward with the heart and press that right foot back into that right hand. Good, so keeping that right hip in, aiming towards the mat still. We'll just deeply press that right shoulder open, press that right foot into the hand, and find that cobra with the heart. So nice and open in the heart still. If you fall out of it, no worries, just slowly come back into it after you touch down. And then we're gonna release, find warrior three, and make our way into a high lunge. So releasing that foot very gently, reach forward with both hands, reach back with that right foot, keep that right hip in, and then soften through that left knee as you gently land on those right toes. Reach up with the hands. Exhale as you find cactus arms, bend in the elbows 90 degrees, press the heart open. Hips sink low. Inhale, re-extend the arms. Exhale, warrior two. Drop the right heel 45 degrees. Arms are spread out wide, shoulders are just over the hips. Left knee is pressing open. And then we'll reach back as we find peaceful warrior. Right hand can go down the right leg or reach all the way back behind you. Inhale as we bring it back up with the left fingertips all the way down, reaching down all the way to the ground with that left hand, reaching up with the right hand, and then staying here nice and open. The shoulders are stacked, or finding a half bind. So reaching underneath that left quad, reaching back with the right hand, interlacing the fingertips and rolling the shoulder open. Good, if you found that half bind, we'll just slowly release the fingers, reach back up with the right hand, and then bring yourself up, extend through that left leg, bring yourself into a wide-legged stance. So turn both toes over to the right side of the mat, wrists are over the ankles here, and then we'll inhale as we reach high overhead, and exhale as we hinge and fold forward. Good, so from here, I'm just gonna find restorative down dog. If you have a favorite wide-legged inversion here, I always like to give the option to kind of freestyle here. But go ahead, if you're with me, just start to walk the hands forward, keep the feet wide, and then press the heart back as you release in the head. So this is a little bit more of a restorative option, and again, really awesome for the heart. Final breath here. And then inhale, we're just gonna walk the hands back underneath the shoulders wherever you're at, whatever variation you took. And then take the hands to the hips as we hinge and roll ourselves back up. Good. Move into goddess pose here. So we'll heel toe the feet in just a little bit. The toes are gonna turn to the corners of the mat, and then we'll drop the hips low as we bend into the knees. Good. So from here, we're just gonna reach behind us with the right hand. Fingertips are gonna come over to the left hip, and then we're just gonna reach over to the left side with your left hand, or maybe start to reach down. If you reach over to the side, that just gets you a little bit deeper into the obliques, but just focus on rolling that right shoulder open wherever you're at and keeping the hips low. Good. Inhale, we'll bring it back through center. Arms come out to a T. We'll turn onto the right toes here. So drop that left heel back, find warrior two on this side. Press that left or that right knee open. Arms are gonna come out to a T. And then we'll just windmill the hands down to frame that right foot, and that left foot's gonna come up to meet the right. So find that forward fold. And then inhale, circle sweep the arms high. Exhale, palms come together at prayer. Good. We'll find dancer on this side, so make sure you have plenty of room in front of you unless you're using a wall. We'll go ahead and activate the core. Fix our gaze on something that's not moving. Ground through the right foot this time. Left hand comes out beside us. Right hand plants on the right hip. And then we'll start to focus our gaze on something that's not moving as we take the weight off of the left foot, start to bend in the knee, bring that heel in towards the glute and reach back, grabbing onto the left foot. Reaching up with the right hand, staying here, or starting to reach it forward as you fold forward with the heart and press that left foot back into the left hand. Keep that right knee gently softened just a little bit so you're not overextending or pulling anything there. And then keep that left hip grounded in, just really aiming towards the mat and the heart open. Good balance. Final breath here. And then we'll slowly release that left foot, reach it back, reach the left hand forward. Find warrior three, and then gently land on those left toes. So find that high lunge. Bending into that right foot, arms come high. And then exhale, find cactus arms, drop the hips nice and low. Heart presses forward. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, warrior two. Drop the left heel 45 degrees. Maybe separate the feet a little bit wider, and then press that right knee open. Inhale, take it back, find peaceful warrior. Maybe reach behind you with that left hand or reach down the back leg. Good. Inhale, bring it back up. Reach all the way down with that right hand. Left hand reaches high, or find that half bind. Reach underneath that right quad and then back with that left hand. Interlace the fingertips, roll the left shoulder open. And then slowly release if you intertwine the fingertips. Inhale as we bring ourselves back up with the left hand. Straighten through the right leg. Turn to face The same direction with the feet, whatever direction you're facing now. Find that wide-legged stance. Arms are going to come out to a T. And then we'll line up the wrists with the ankles. Inhale as we reach high. Exhale as we hinge and fold forward. This time, if you're with me, we'll find some twist. But if you want to do your own thing again, you're welcome to do that. So I'm going to keep the left hand in towards the center line. Inhale as you open up towards the right, reaching high with the right hand, and then stack the shoulders. Good, we'll switch sides, so lower down that right hand, swap out the hands, right hand stays grounded in towards the center, and then we'll reach up with the left hand. Shoulders are in line. Good, lower down that left hand, and then start to hinge up as we find our way back into that wide-legged stance. Heel toe the feet in slightly. Find that goddess pose. Turn the feet towards the corners of the mat, drop the hips low, bend in the knees, and then take that left hand behind you. Reach over and grab that right hip, and then reach over to the right with that right hand to activate the obliques, or reach down to stay grounded. We'll just open up in that left shoulder, wherever that right hand lands, and then keep the hips nice and low. Good. Inhale, we're going to come into warrior two. That left foot is going to be in front this time, so come back through center. Drop the right heel 45 degrees. Left toes aiming forward, arms come out to a T, and then we'll windmill to frame that left foot. Come onto the right toes, drop the right knee, untuck the toes, and then take the hands behind us as we interlace the hands. Press the knuckles open, roll the shoulders back. Good. If you want to move dynamically here, it takes a lot of balance here to focus in, but go ahead and press the hips back as you straighten through that left leg. Keep those fingers intertwined, and then inhale, bring it forward, find that low lunge, and then just keep moving here. Good. Next time you press it back, or if you haven't pressed back yet, we'll find a half split. So releasing the hands, pressing that left hip back. If you have those two blocks, you want to grab them just to lift the ground up to you a little bit. It might help here. Otherwise, just press the hips back. Breathe deep into that left hamstring. Those toes are aiming back. And then if you need a little bit more, this will double as getting into the heart, but no forcing again. Right hand stays grounded, left arm reaches high, find a little half split twist. Good. If you found that twist, we'll unwind, lower down that left hand, and then switch out the legs. So take that left knee back to meet the right. We'll bring that right foot forward. Find a low runner's lunge. And then lift up the heart as we interlace the hands behind us. Press the knuckles towards the ground. Roll the shoulders open. Those hips forward. And then stay here. Or start to move back into the half split, keeping the hands where they are. Just nice and slow, with control as you move so you don't hurt anything. Good. final time, if you're moving, we'll keep the hips back. If you're not moving, go ahead and press the hips back, release the hands, and then press that right hip back as you keep those right toes flexed. Again, staying here or twisting open if that's an option, keeping that left hand grounded, reaching up with the right hand, stacking the shoulders. Lower down that right hand, press the hips forward, move back into that low runner's lunge for a moment, and then press that right knee back to meet the left. Come all the way down onto the bellies. And then just for a moment, stack the hands. Elbows are going to come out wide, releasing the hips, releasing the glutes, shake out the hips, and press into the space in between the eyebrows. Good. We're going to move into half bow pose. If you like, if you know your body can take that full bow pose and you like that posture a lot, go ahead and take that variation. We'll just kind of do that twice, but otherwise we'll go ahead and move into that half bow. So start to press yourself up again like a tripod with those forearms. We're going to bend into that right knee and then bring that heel in close to the body, towards the body. So that left elbow, left forearm is going to stay grounded. And then we're going to start to reach back again. Grab on the inside of that right foot and then pull yourself in. Pull that heel in close to the glutes. Roll the shoulder open. Stay here. If you're in full bow pose, go ahead and just come out of it for a moment as we switch sides. If you only have that right foot, just release the right foot and then ground through both forearms again, and we'll switch sides. So that right forearm is going to stay grounded, that left heel is going to come in, and then we'll start to reach back, grab on the inside of that left foot, pull yourself, pull that heel in close to the body, roll that left shoulder open, or take that full bow pose again, not boat, bow. Good. Slowly release on this side. And then if you want to try, after both sides kind of warming up, if you want to try that full bow pose, you're welcome to. Just bend in both of the knees and then start to reach back, grab the outside of one foot, then the other, and then start to lift the knees up, lift the quads up, roll the shoulders together, and then that heart's really going to open up. You might even kind of weeble wobble here, just kind of rock back and forth. Keep those knees in line again, making sure they're not splaying open too far. And then slowly, lower down the knees, lower down the head, re-extend the legs, find that crocodile pose again. Head's gonna come to the knuckles, we'll shake out the hips. Good. We'll start to press ourselves up into a comfortable cross-legged seat just to finish off the practice. So go ahead and cross the legs, move the glutes out of the way so you find that nice tall spine. And then we're just going to place one hand over the heart and one hand on top of that hand. And just to finish, we're just going to finish with a mantra here. Maybe close down the eyes, feel the heart beating for a moment, feel the lungs breathing. And then just either out loud or to yourself, just repeating, I am loved, I am worthy, I am whole. And just repeating that as many times as you need to believe it. Thank you all so much for practicing with me. It's been an honor. Namaste. If you enjoyed this video and feel great, please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the next flow.